Of the more than 9 million students who take China's college entrance exam each year, only a highly select number are admitted to the country's two most prestigious universities, Tsinghua University and Peking University. I traveled from Drexel University in Philadelphia to Beijing to visit Tsinghua and Beida, as Peking University is popularly known. I wanted to engage with the students at these universities the way I would with my own students in the United States. But in this case, not to teach, but to learn about their attitudes and ideas, their experiences, hopes, and dreams, to understand China as it is likely to evolve in the 21st century. If I were to say to you that the people at Tsinghua and Beida will be the leaders of China in the future, would you say that's true?
Our present president is graduated from Tsinghua University.
These two universities not only have the elite students here, but also has many resources, social relationships with the Communist Party.
We're just lucky. Most of the students here in China can get such opportunities.
China has a long tradition of respect for higher education. This was temporarily undermined in the late 1960s and early 70s during Mao's Cultural Revolution, when the nation's academic elite were sent to the countryside to be re-educated in manual labor. Today, the focus on higher education in China has re-emerged, stronger than ever. Chinese families, regardless of wealth or geographical region, want their children to excel academically. Those admitted to Tsinghua and Beida are not only among their country's most gifted students, they are also its hardest workers. The drive to achieve has been conditioned in them from their earliest years.
I did not really expect to get into Peking University because it's a university with such a high prestige. It's like my dream school, but I did try very hard.
For me, I initially didn't plan to come to Tsinghua University. I actually intended to apply to schools in the United States.
Oh.
Right, but that was a sad story because I got rejected from Harvard and Yale.
More and more foreigners are coming here to study, and it's not just to study Chinese.
What do you find is the difference in the way the Chinese students approach their work?
I feel like most of the time they just do their work. Like even when they're eating, it's like they eat so fast and they just go do their work.
Tsinghua University, people rarely party.
Rarely party.
Rarely.
Yeah.
Almost no.
So what do you do to relax?
Having dinner together, something like that. Yeah.
What are your majors?
Finance.
I major in finance.
I'm a master from law school in Peking University.
I major in urban planning.
I major in PPE.
What is PPE?
Politics, philosophy, and economics.
I major in microwave photonics.
Despite their high level of achievement, some of the students I spoke with were enrolled in academic majors that were not their first choice, but assigned to them based on their test scores.
Literature was my second choice, but I still like this major. Yeah.
What was your first choice?
My first choice was social science. Now I'm a senior student and I am now applying graduate schools in America and Canada. Yeah,
in literature?
I'm trying to change my major to social work. Yeah, that's what I find I really like.
I'm studying computer science, but my first choice is mathematics.
So you didn't score quite highly enough to go into math?
Yes. I also want to pursue a master's degree in the United States. Maybe I will change my major in the future, and because I really like mathematics.
Actually, my score was not high enough, and I was randomly assigned to Department of Chemistry, and I think my interest for chemistry is developed then gradually.
Whatever their majors, these students had career goals that resembled in range and ambition the goals of my own students in the United States. What kind of job do you hope to get?
Maybe now it's some like the investment bank or the consulating.
I like to go to Wall Street.
I will be doing research on the early church.
I probably want to be a policy analyst or be a, I don't know, NGO manager or something.
I like to try something new, like not focusing only on architect, maybe do some other like landscaping or landscaping design.
I want to be a governor.
I want to make cars.
You want to make cars?
Yeah.
The future for me is not very certain. So maybe I will do something in politics, and maybe I will be a businessman.
I might just go back to my city.
And teach?
Maybe, but I used to work as a translator, so probably. You know, working as a translator will give you more freedom. But if you find a teaching job, probably your life is kind of like more secure.
I'll stick with finance for a long time, but I'm thinking about moving into private equity. The lifestyle's better, and you have a lot more impact on the society as an investor than as a banker.
I want to do research, so I want to be a scientist. And I know doing research is very hard work because you really have to put all of your minds on your work. And so that's why I don't want marriage.
Do you think you're representative of other women here?
I think no, yeah, because I'm the only one in my dormitory that don't want marriage. Yeah.
So you're an exception. What about you?
I think marriage and career should not be in conflict.
Currently, I'm interested in consulting industry. Okay. So,
what does that mean?
Consulting.
Like McKinsey.
You know, private banking, you talk to your audience, you talk to your customer clients about something like wine, like art, like fashion, and you do your work, but after, the work is over, you have your own life.
You know, in the societies now, many people, they just want to make more money. They just want to have a high standard of living. Maybe I will focus more on my inner part. I want myself to be happy and to be fulfilled.
I also asked the students at Tsinghua and Beida about the challenges they faced in achieving their goals.
Chinese people go for the safer way, not the adventurous way. Because you know how in the past, jobs can be allocated to you upon graduation, and you will be staying in that spot for the rest of your life. And that's the way that Chinese people feel comfortable, how they should, direct their life trajectories. But a more open China, a more challenging world requires Chinese people to be more adventurous, require them to create their own companies and start their own businesses. But, I think China has already become aware of this aspect, the importance on this, but the system is not well developed yet.
One thing that constrains me would be on the religious issues, because I'm into a little bit of religious studies, but I find it really difficult to get the materials I need. And at some websites like archive.org, there are tons of materials I need, but I can't get access to it.
One question that Americans have when they hear about the study of law in China is they don't understand how it fits with a country in which the government dictates so much.
Okay, I know what you mean. In China, to rule by law is direction, and it's an effort by government. There really have some area that ruled by government or the party. But in many parts it's regulated by law, and I can say our lawyer or law student can play an important role in the future.
What about membership in the Communist Party? How important is that?
Are you a Communist Party member?
Not really.
Me either.
Does that matter? I mean, like you say it in a sort of sheepish way.
It's a matter of personal choice, I think.
Is it?
If you want to further your personal development in the government, well, of course it's great. Well, it's mandatory that you're a party member, because they require loyalty, personality if you want to work for the government, right? But well, if you plan your career in some other sectors, I don't know, international companies, or just want a job as a professor in a college, it's not necessary.
It's like a bonus to us.
It's a bonus.
Yeah, it's a bonus to us. Like, for example, if we really want to remain in this university, like to go to the graduate school, member of Communist Party is among the top of the list.
And I noticed that you have a Marxism major. How important is it? Could you explain it a little bit to us?
80%, they don't treat this concept very seriously.
I chose a teacher who mainly focused on the economic aspect. But for other students, because they chose different teachers, maybe some teachers only focus on political aspect.
Signs of Western culture were everywhere on the campuses I visited, from product logos to announcements for visiting lecturers. I was told that more than half of the students at Tsinghua and Beida go abroad to study or work, with the favored destination by far being the United States. Wait, would you be speaking English normally if we weren't here?
Yes, of course. For all the research meetings and for the discussions, most cases we speak English.
At this university, we have invited almost all the leading Western literary and cultural scholars, such as Homi Bhabha, Gayatri Spivak, Frederick Jameson, Phyllis Miller.
I asked students to tell me about aspects of American culture that impressed them most.
I spent 1 year at Yale Divinity School because I was interested in religious studies, and that's part of my dissertation. And honestly, you can't get this kind of education here anyway. Here in China. I mean, we have official seminaries, but they're official, so.
And professors in American universities are very open-minded. They tend to let us talk instead of like forcing, instead of putting putting things into our mind. Besides like that, they tend to let us discover things.
When you came back here from America, you felt different from from other students.
After I went back, I started to kind of a critical thinking. I started to really think about what I need and what I like. So I kind of naughty student in the eyes of the teachers.
What television program has been the most influential?
Friends, I think.
American Got Talented?
The Desperate Housewives.
And Gossip Girl.
And Big Bang Theory.
Yeah.
Big Bang Theory is really popular in Tsinghua because it talks about engineering.
Gossip Girls, Big Bang Theory, Friends, 24 Hours, Lost. They're very popular because Chinese people need to relax. And also since Chinese people become more and more gaining a more and more international perspective, because their education are teaching them the international cultures, what are the things going on in the world, so they are better able to appreciate different sense of humor, the American sense of humor. When I first started to watch Friends, I didn't know why I should laugh, because those jokes are not fun to me. But now I felt like, yeah, I'm more able to, identify with those American jokes.
I also asked students what they didn't like about American culture.
I don't like, just a little bit, I don't like the attitude American people have to sex. The attitude American people hold to sex, I'm not.
To sex?
Towards sex.
Yeah.
What is that? What is the attitude?
They think it's
You can do whatever you want.
yeah, it treated just like a game. Maybe.
Oh,
yeah. I think it's kind of serious.
What's the Chinese attitude towards sex?
And you can't have sex with your boyfriend before you get married.
Really?
It's the traditional way.
Yeah, traditional. Like you have to be virgin. It's before you get married.
From grandparents, okay?
Grandparents?
Grandmother.
You don't think? You don't think that's right?
Well.
Yeah, that's the traditional thinking thought.
in the States, I think things tend to be like, first you have sex together, and then you know each other. But the process in China is reverse. Like first you know each other very well, and I think, well, I should, be with that guy, and then we be forever. Yeah.
The Chinese culture never allow people to be so open on sex. Reproduction is a holy thing, and Chinese people always be really, always, how to say?
We will be shy sometimes to talk.
The shy, yeah.
Because Chinese people are not as uptight as it used to be. Well, we have decent sexual education ever since high school, so we understand that, and we can tolerate that, I would say.
Tolerate what?
Well,
watching it or doing it?
That's a very interesting question. Very private one, but I think watching it is okay for Chinese people who wouldn't feel embarrassed at all, uncomfortable.
Generation gap here. I'm Puritan, and I guess most people at my age are still that way. So I'm actually uncomfortable if I watch people on a screen, doing it.
Many of the students at Tsinghua and Beida expressed reverence for Chinese traditions and values. They seemed convinced that even as their country becomes more westernized, it will never lose its uniquely Chinese character.
The wisdom of our ancestors is really
it's
great.
Fantastic.
Fantastic.
It's fantastic.
Yeah.
And some of the philosophers' ideas in the Western country are already published or already known in our Chinese.
About 2,000 years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of professors in Tsinghua University, for example, they are just trying to advocate the idea that we should rejuvenate the Chinese culture. They have made every effort to preserve the old style.
In America, I feel like most of my friends and most of the people that I feel so comfortable with are Asians. We share just so many things among East Asian countries. The way how we're inclined to behave ourselves, social etiquettes. Asian people share more similarities. Because I feel like Americans, especially, are more independent spirit. They care less about other people's feelings because they're more assertive. And I think what I think is right, and whatever I want, I'm gonna go for it. But Asian people cares more about associations, relations, how other people would think, how my behavior would have an impact on the life of other people.
The policy of allowing just one child per family, first enacted by the government in 1978 and still largely in effect, has profoundly influenced Chinese society, shifting attention from the older to the younger generation. The students at Tsinghua and Beida are beneficiaries and casualties of this one-child policy. They tend to feel special, even entitled, but sometimes lonely and pressured to meet the high expectations of their families.
Are you all only children?
I am.
I have a brother.
Oh.
Elder brother.
You have an older brother?
Yeah, he's 7 years older than me.
So your parents had two. Was it they had to pay a fine or they had to pay extra?
No, that is because actually when my brother is 7 years old, he is diagnosed by mistake to be a blood cancer. It's by mistake, but still China has the policy to allow the family to have a second child.
Did your parents got the mistake by intention?
No, it's not. They are very worried that time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
But he's fine?
Yeah, he's fine now.
But talk a little bit about being an only child as you grow up, whether having been only children, will have a significant shaping effect on you?
I think for me it's okay because my grandpa is the best grandpa in the world. He find many little friends with me when I was in childhood, so it's the same with me like I have brothers or sisters.
Oh.
Yeah, but I think it really affects the future.
When I was a child, I really felt very lonely. So I felt a lot of restrictions. There's really a very big problem because we just have one child in a family, so that the children may be self-oriented than the American child.
So do you have a lot of contact with your parents while you're in college?
Yeah, I call them every day.
Every day?
Every day. Every day, twice or
Really?
more, yeah.
Yeah? So will you call them after this interview?
Yeah.
Some of the students and professors I spoke with were critical of their country's past and present policies. But they were also inclined to place these things in context, to see the good with the bad, and to envision a gradual evolution toward a China of greater tolerance and freedom.
What are the feelings about Mao?
Mao Zedong.
I think he's really a great person.
Yes, he's
Anyway.
a great person. Maybe he's not a good person. He's great. A great person means he changes China totally from the really poor countries and to become prosperous and end the civil war. The good part, he's not a good people, not a totally good people because he do some mistakes in
his late years.
Yes, the
Yes.
Chinese Cultural Revolution. These mistakes
Cannot cover his successful career.
In some sense, I don't think that people should blame Chairman Mao too much. He was an individual.
The Cultural Revolution changed a lot. During the Cultural Revolution, the hierarchy was destroyed at that time. Friends turning against each other, fathers against sons, daughters against mothers, If you come to think about it, it's almost like a Christian apocalypse.
In China, there have been movements, not only that one. It's better, right, that the social forces slowly, peacefully move it. If these forces, somehow during the evolutionary process, going out of control at some stage, particularly during this internet time, it would not be good for anybody.
I was charmed by the students I met at Tsinghua and Beida. They had enormous curiosity, energy, and enthusiasm. Though reserved on certain subjects, they seem mostly open and honest with me. And though proud of their own traditions, they were tolerant of ideas and behavior different from their own. If these students are a sample of their country's future leaders, I feel hopeful that China will be a friendly power and a site of constructive change in the years ahead.
I'm the kind of people who wants to get many things out of life. I'm really, just kidding. I'm really, how to say, 贪婪的 greedy.
Greedy?
Greedy of things in life. I really want to explore new areas.
What I'm seeing here is that China is becoming more and more open
Yeah.
and trying to learn to respect human rights. I know it might take a pretty long way to get to the point where the United States is right now, but I think that generally the well-being is improving.
Yeah, I think he's absolutely right because we are really becoming more and more open.
I want to see a better Beijing, a more beautiful Beijing. That's my beloved city, yeah, to be more beautiful.
But I found China need people to come back because we need them to work for the country, and to educate the students here. I think it's my duty and also my responsibility to come back. In the next 10 years, I think we'll see created in China, not only fabricated in China. So that's my